Canada and India have committed to finalizing a new trade deal by the end of this year. Prime Minister Mark Carney's first official visit to India also saw the signing of a $2.6 billion uranium supply deal. For more on this reset of bilateral ties after months, even a couple of years, really, of diplomatic tension, is Vina Nadjibulla, Vice President of Research and Strategy at the Asia Pacific Foundation of Canada. Vina, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation, Roger.
This is quite the about face. Can Canada and India overcome their differences? I mean, they were not liking each other just a few months ago, even.
Absolutely. This is a huge turnaround, one which would have been hard to imagine a few weeks ago, not to mention last year. And we've seen not just a diplomatic reset, but a significant expansion and elevation of the relationship and a focus on economic partnership with this announcement on a negotiation of a free trade agreement, a very ambitious timeline for doing so in 1 year. But the relationship was not just going to be limited, according to Prime Minister Carney, to trade and economic engagement, but also to defense, to technology, AI. He wants to see this relationship really expand because the economic opportunity and the economic logic is very much there. But of course, we'll see what the implementation actually looks like. The blueprint, the roadmap that he's laid out is ambitious.
What might derail it?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of domestic political challenges. This, in some ways, has been a tale of two visits. If you follow what was happening in Mumbai and New Delhi, the mood was very positive. The feeling was that the two countries have really turned the page, that the economic logic is just so overwhelming that they are going to move forward, not just with CEPA, but also partnerships around energy. In fact, they announced a strategic partnership on energy, signed multiple MOUs, have all of these deals. You mentioned the Chemical deal, but there are other deals amounting in total to about $5.5 billion. And yet the story here in Canada has been one still of foreign interference, transnational repression, lots of questions about why are we doing this with India. So I think a lot will depend on how the Prime Minister and the government are able to communicate clearly what their vision for India is, how they're going to be able to fully capitalize on the economic opportunity, which is enormous, and not just in energy, but across the board. At the same time, managing this public safety concerns and the sort of the public perceptions that still exist that are fairly negative about India.
It is a bit of a tightrope with that. What are some of the opportunities beyond the energy then? Where do you see those happening?
Yeah, so I mean, energy for sure, and that's across the board, both conventional liquefied natural gas as well as oil, critical minerals, as well as hydrogen and renewables. Then we have technology, AI, IT, including research partnerships. So much of our trade with India right now is trade and services, which has been really foreign students. But now there is an appetite to increase financial services, increase services around exchange around AI. They launched a trilateral partnership between Canada, Australia, and India, which is our first one in the Indo-Pacific. So there are definitely opportunities there. And then most interestingly and surprisingly, perhaps, our defense minister was on the trip as well. And given our new defense industrial strategy, there is an appetite to cooperate with India, even in defense. So space, airspace were specifically mentioned. This is a new area. We'll see how quickly things move. But of course, India, like so many other countries, is spending billions on its defense and security upgrade.
And what might derail it? We have all these incredible opportunities, but what might be the issues? You mentioned about the politics of this, the optics of it. Is that something that can be worked through?
Yes, I mean, certainly the government would like to see this move in two parallel tracks, the kind of security law enforcement on one dedicated track, and then all the partnership economic opportunities, deepening of the relationship on a parallel track. I think another element would be whether or not we're able to fully take advantage of the opportunities, because India feels far away to many. It's obviously not easy to get there. It's also not always easy to do business there. So I think raising the competence acceptance among Canadian business and the Canadian public, as well as government, about India, how India is changing. This is not India of even 5 years ago. In the last 2 years, India has signed free trade agreements with the UK, with the European Union, with the European Free Trade Association, EFTA, with New Zealand. So they're now moving quickly. And if we don't take advantage of this opportunity, Canadian businesses might be placed out of the market that is now one of the fastest in the world.
Okay, we have to wrap it up there, but Vina, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Vina Nadjibulla is Vice President of Research and Strategy at the Asia Pacific Foundation of Canada.